Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is Business Morning. We're live to you from Channel's global headquarters here in Lagos. Let's get the show started. Nigerian markets officially back on the beat today after a two-day Muslim holiday, cutting the market week into what we now have as two final sessions. So all eyes will be on the Securities and Exchange Commission's response to Owanda's court injunction restraining the regulatory authority from moving an inch against the troubled oil energy trading firm. That was secured on Monday before we went on public holiday, two-day public holiday. Now, the morning after, how will the SEC respond? Will there be a counter court issue here? We don't know, but we're looking at this as part of the story on our box. Meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it's in partnership with the National Cotton Association of Nigeria to engage 100,000 local farmers to cultivate 100,000 hectares of land for the 2019 planting season. And that is expected to be ramped up to about 200,000 hectares of land by the year 2020. The partnership between the Central Bank and the farmers is part of the strategy by the new Textile Revival Implementation Committee set up by the Central Bank to revamp Nigeria's cotton, garment, and textile sectors. So from New Air Nigeria to foreign trade, NIMASA Chief Dakuku Peterside says the country is planning a new national shipping line which will be owned 49% by technical partners and 51% by local investors. Dakuku Peterside says that the national fleet is part of the country's new strategic direction on the blue economy, which is designed to tap into the country's maritime potential. If you remember, Nigeria had what you call the Nigerian National Shipping Line, NNSL, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And when that went down, Nigeria then floated another national line called the National Unity Line, NUL. That also went down within a few years' time. This will be Nigeria's third attempt to float a national shipping line. Meantime, 5 oil mining licenses and oil prospecting licenses have been revoked by the Department of Petroleum Resources. The DPR, in a public notice issued today, says the revocation of those licenses was based on the presidential directive on recovery of legacy debts owed to the Nigerian government. The 5 oil firms whose licenses have been revoked by the Department of Petroleum Resources are Pan Ocean Oil Corporation. The license revoked is that of OML 98. Allied Energy Resources Nigeria has its OML 120 and 121 revoked, 2 licenses there. Express Petroleum and Gas Company has its OML 108 revoked. Cavendish Petroleum Nigeria, the DPR says is revoked its OML 110. And Summit Oil International has its operating prospecting license OPL 206 revoked. Back into the financial market space, Osun State promoted Omoluabi Mortgage Bank PLC listed on the stock exchange reported a sharply lower earnings per share of 156 kobo for the full year 2018 against a much higher 350 kobo reported in the full year of 2017. So what happened? So some of these key statistics from the company released to the marketplace. Gross earnings came in 460.9 million within the full year of 2018. Net interest income 136 million naira. Right back credit loss expense 58.88 million naira. Impairment charges by Omoluabi Mortgage Bank came in at 194.91 million naira. If you take all those out of the gross earnings, you find a profit before tax of about 95.93 million. And a net profit that is even much lower after taxation, 79.53 million naira. According to the small financial services company with headquarters in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, the total non-performing credit or non-performing loans was 126.37 million naira, which of course much lower than 148.87 million reported for full year 2017. So what's the total non-performing loans as a ratio of total credit? That's 7.51% against 9% previous. So let's chat to Temple Ashaju, our business correspondent, live to us from the studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Today is the first trading day after the holidays, but let's take a very quick look back and give you an idea of where we finished off on Monday. Quite a number of folks were hurrying up for the long holiday, so in case you missed the market numbers, you need to find out where we're starting today's numbers when the doors are now open for business. Temple, good morning. Coming here into the program, I'm sure we'll find some time later, perhaps today, tomorrow, to talk about Omoluabi Mortgage Bank PLC, which is a very small mortgage bank, a financial services provider listed on the market, actually initially promoted by the Osun State government, but later brought to the marketplace, became a PLC, and now have more enlarged shareholders. But the first, where did we finish off on Monday? Let's start from there. Morning.
So we were really negative by some 0.45% on Monday. Of course, you know that the trading session was, not so effective on Monday, because a lot of investors and traders here were really bracing up to go for the public holiday, and of course the Eid al-Fitr celebration that just ended yesterday. But basically, activity level was positive on that Monday. We saw volume of transaction was up by some 6%. Value of the transaction was also up by some 3%. And of course, total value of 2.81 billion naira was what we recorded on Monday, which is a bit below the 30-day average. Is always it's around 3 billion naira. But then the total deals of transactions was 3,850. Basically, that's from Monday. We saw a whole lot of portfolio rebalancings, huge sell-off in the market, given the fact that celebration was around the corner again. There wasn't really any major catalyst in the system. If we go by the sectoral performance of the companies, and of course the indices that we have, the major indices we have in the market, you've got the 5 key sectors currently closing on Monday in the negative territory. The banking side of things was weak. We saw ETI, investors took profit on ETI, the Ecobank Transnational Incorporated. Wema Bank was a sell-off. FBN Holdings sell-off there. Unity Bank was a sell-off as well. Guarantee Trust Bank was a little bit of a bargain hunting, some level of sell-off on that side of the market as market as well. FCMB also recorded some sell-off on that space. Consumer goods side of the market, you got GSK, you got Nascon, and of course Dangote Flour. All these key companies, investors reacting positively to the numbers that they found in that segment of the market. The industrial goods side of the market got Curtex, WAPCO, and of course Bagger Paints as the leading numbers there that drags that indices. For the insurance side of things, mutual benefits got the cold shoulder of a lot of investors, and of course that dropped by some 9.09%. We saw consolidated Hallmark Insurance also dipping by more than 8% on Monday. Oil and gas side of the market experienced some serious losses again. 0.57% decline was what we saw on that side of the market. O&O, for example, was down. Of course, negative reaction there, 9.52%. That's a major company to watch, and of course the numbers to continue to look at, because again it closed on Friday at about 3 naira 80 kobo. That was how it became steady. Seplat was down 9.07%. Profits taking was the main sentiment on that particular counter, given the fact that Seplat made some more gains in the greater part of May. Now this is June. H1 is about to end, and some investors are looking to dot their I's and cross the T's. So profits taking was what fell this particular company to its 22% negative, of course, in terms of year-to-date performance. Japan was down, 40 oil was down by some 2.18%, giving room for some kind of re-entry eventually. But basically, there were 28 losers on Monday, and of course 15 gainers, which was left by champion breweries. If we move to the unlisted securities market, you recall that we were down by almost 50 basis points on Monday. We got the USI settling at 744.99 points. Market capitalization settled at 535 billion naira plus. We got volume of transaction on Monday alone at 106,852, and of course the total value of transactions put at 3.31 billion naira. Let's move on to the fixed income market, where you've got some transaction movements on the bond side of the market, but it was really quiet for the greater part of the transaction that we saw on Monday. The things were really quiet. We saw little flows passing through the sessions. Of course, yields also expanded by an average of 6 basis points, which generally was weak appetite on the bond side of the market. We got just 16 deals on Monday, and that was valued at 28.56 billion naira compared to some 40-something billion that we get to regularly see.
Yes, Temple, let's flesh up on some of these stories a little bit later. Temple, let's flesh up on this a little bit later. I'm sure a bit of a summary of that, of where the market finished off. Thank you so much. Let's get back to you later to see what the first trading day after the public holiday looks like. But first, we're touching with the commodities. Quite a lot of headwinds out there. What do they mean for us?